ChatGPT just released one of its biggest updates of all time. It's called Code Interpreter, and it's available to all ChatGPT Plus users right now. So you have to have the subscription, but if you don't, I think you're gonna wanna get the subscription after watching what this new update could do inside of ChatGPT. And even though it's called Code Interpreter, it could actually analyze a ton of different types of files. It could read and analyze text files and give you the biggest trends and insights. It could analyze entire data sets. It could actually give you those data sets in visual presentations. It could actually go through Python code. It could look at photos and images and resize and crop them right inside of ChatGPT. And my favorite part is you could give it your own data now too, right inside of ChatGPT, and it could analyze it and change it to whatever you want. Let me show you how to activate it first. You need ChatGPT Plus. This is the paid version of ChatGPT. Once you have this, you just press these three dots over here, and you have to go to this section called Settings. And right here under Beta, this is still part of Beta, but you could just go ahead and turn this on right over here, turn this to green. If you don't have it for some reason and you still have the paid version, just wait a few days. I'm making this pretty much as it's rolling out. Now, the last thing is when you press a new chat, just choose GPT-4 and make sure this is checked on. As long as you have the check mark next to Code Interpreter, you're ready to go. So here you'll see a new plus sign now, and it says upload a file. So you need to upload a file to interact with that file. So I'm gonna upload a couple of different files. I'll give you a resource here where you could download test documents as well. And here's a .csv. Basically, this is just a text document with a ton of different numbers here. And this is just based on Bitcoin prices. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this here, and I'll show you where I got this. There's this other place. This is basically a data set library called Kaggle. So you could go under data sets and you could search for some of these data sets. And if you click on one of them, this is the Bitcoin one, and I just downloaded it from over here. And I downloaded a few other ones too. I downloaded some Python code, all these to use as an example, but I'll show you with my own document too. I'm gonna give it a 160-page document and interact with it, something I wrote. Now here I could press enter and it's gonna analyze this document for me, but usually I'm gonna give it a prompt. So my prompt, the question I'm gonna ask it is gonna be, explain this document to me in simple terms. Sometimes I ask for just one paragraph too, but I'm gonna just press enter, and it's basically gonna actually go to work here. It's gonna write a little bit of Python code here. We don't have to worry about that. We could just leave this minimized. But then it's gonna give me the breakdown of what this document is in plain English. So it says this is a CSV document containing historical Bitcoin prices. And then it's gonna break down basically the columns and the rows, and it's gonna give it to me this way. And this is useful for getting started, but here are some prompts that really let you interact and analyze this document, making you basically a data analyst. My follow-up prompt is going to be, what's the main takeaway from this data set? Now, I do have a list of about 50 different prompts that I have specially designed for Code Interpreter. So I'll go ahead and link that below if you want to just get that, so you could copy and paste different prompts to get the most out of different data sets and your own data sets here. So after running this, it gave me 4 different options that I could analyze here. So I could actually analyze all of them or just one of them. Right now, I'll ask for number 4, which is just volume here. It's analyzing the volume of the Bitcoin trades. And without me even asking, it created a nice visual chart for me to show me exactly how this graph depicts the volume of Bitcoin trading over time. And it has the different years here, and it's got the volume here on the left side. Now, my next prompt is gonna be list the top 10 key points. So this is gonna basically try to analyze this and just give me 10 points. I could ask this in the form of a number list or a bullet point as well. By default, it usually gives it to you in a number list. Here's the 10 key points from that data set. Now I'm gonna go to my prompt list here, and this is one of my favorite prompts that I'm gonna go ahead and copy and paste over here. This says, can you create 10 visuals to represent different data presented here? This is really fantastic. Let's say I have a presentation and I feed it my own sales data, and it's gonna basically output this, and then I could take it into PowerPoint, for example, or I could use another AI tool like Adobe Express to make a whole presentation for me. Let me press enter. And look at all these different graphs it made for me. It just made me 10 different graphs. This is closing price over time, trading volume. All these are represented in individual graphs. And I could ask a follow-up and say, give it to me as individual PNG files, which is an image file, or give it to me as individual, give me all 10 individually, and it will give me all 10 as well that I could just download. Or I could just click on this one, right click on it, and save this one, save image as, and I could go ahead and just save this to my computer as well. So I could do that, and you could see it just downloaded it to my computer, and it gave me a breakdown of what all those are. If I want to just see one of them in an image, I could just ask, give me just number 8 in a higher resolution. And with financial data, you could actually ask very specific questions. So what's the duration of the fastest price increase from low to high? And here he gave me the exact date. He told me how the price changed. And then I always could say, can you show me that in a visual way? So I said, can you show me that with a graph? I could say, can you show me that with a bar chart? Any number of things that you could think visually, things you would do inside a PowerPoint, for example. You could just have this created based on that data set. And now I have this image that I could go ahead and copy onto my computer into my presentations. Now let me shift gear. All those prompts are included for you to copy and paste and try this with your own data set. I'll show you how to use your own data set in a second. Right now, I'm gonna switch gear and I'm gonna go ahead and give it an image. Here's an image here that I created with Midjourney. I'm gonna ask it to actually crop this image for me. So this is a square image. I'm gonna say crop this to 1080 by 1920, which is a vertical shape, and press enter. And this was a PNG file, and it's actually gonna write the code here and crop this image for me, and I could go ahead and download it from here. And here it gave me a download resize image, and I said crop it without squeezing it. Sometimes, let me just show you what this looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and download this. Sometimes it squeezes the image. That's not what I want. I just want to crop. So sometimes you want to say crop it without squeezing it, and I'll download this. And there you go. It just cropped the image. Now I have this in vertical format. It was in square format. So you could do this every time and just make sure, say don't squeeze, and it will do cropping for you. You could do one more thing too. This time I asked it to make it black and white. So it converted it to a black and white. And here I got myself a black and white version of it. Now let me start a new conversation. This time I'm gonna upload some code again that I got from the same website. And here's some Python code, so .py. And I'm just gonna press enter here, and it's gonna go ahead and analyze this for me. So it says you uploaded a Python code, can I assist you with this? And here's a couple of different prompts. So I'm gonna say, can you explain this code to me? And in plain English, it's gonna tell me exactly what this is. It's gonna give me, again, a list of the different things that are inside of this. Let's say I don't even understand what Python is. I just found this code. I wanted to know what it's all about. This is gonna tell me in plain English. Now I've tried to ask it to debug code for me, but it usually is not able to do that, and it's gonna tell me why. But it could actually do things like review code and suggest improvements to code. So that is a useful option here, and you can see it says, sure, I reviewed the code. Here are potential improvements. It's gonna tell me that. Again, these are mostly for developers, but it's useful for regular people too to understand what different type of code they may come across, copy it, put it over here, and find out exactly what it's all about. This could also convert file type. So I said, can you convert this to a JPEG? It was a PNG. It converted it. I clicked here, downloaded it. I give it an MP4, which is a movie file. I said, can you make this a GIF? It made it a GIF. So finally, let me show you how to have it interact with your own data set too. So I have this script. This is a text document, 165 pages. This is a script for one of my AI courses. And I'm just gonna go ahead and file and download this here. This is just in Google Docs, but I'm gonna just download it as a Word here. You could do a plain text. Now I'm gonna come back over here, and I'm gonna press the plus sign, and I'm gonna go ahead and upload this file here. So I'm gonna say, explain this document to me in simple terms. Again, this is 165 pages I just downloaded. And it's gonna give me a full breakdown telling me that this is basically a course aimed to teach artificial intelligence. Now this time I asked it to create a visual word cloud to see basically what words I use the most in that 160 page script. So it says the words prompt, ChatGPT, AI, model, text to video. Basically all these is a visual word cloud. Any of the prompts that I have, I could basically ask it. So what insights do you see? This is not a data set, right? This is just a document. So I said list the key points, and it decided to list 10 key points. So any of the prompts I have in my prompt sheet, I could just copy and paste, interact with my own document. Now I find it mostly useful with data sets. So all these different charts and graphs that I got that I could plug into a presentation in my previous conversations, I could basically grab these, save these, and actually really analyze data so quickly, right? Just basically feeding in my own data like I showed you, and then asking a question related to different data sets. Here's a different data set I gave it regarding cars here and how many miles per gallon different cars get, and it gave me a ton of different charts. So this prompt alone, the one that where I say give this to me in 10 different visual presentations, is really useful. And again, all the different prompts are included below. And if you want to stay up to date with all things AI, we did just release an entire learning platform that includes a ton of different courses in the world of AI, complete ChatGPT courses, tutorials just like this one, well over 200 different training videos. And we keep rolling out entire courses and new tutorials on that platform all the time. So you could try it totally for free right now. Hope you found this useful, and the prompt list helps you copy and paste and get to know this code interpreter. I will see you next time.